Okay, so realize verbally, and my speech will start now. My speech will answer two questions. First of all, which side protects people more? And second of all, which side provides better lawyers? Because we have to think about this. Fairness is the main goal of a court case. Without it, the legal system can easily be corrupted. This will lead to more innocent and marginalized groups going to jail without a strong representation, while the other side, they completely neglect this burden and they keep on saying to us random stuff that doesn't even relate to this notion at all. So it's about which side can actually benefit the defendants and ensure fairness to everyone because we believe that fairness is so important, and with state employed lawyers, fairness can easily be achieved. So, a few things that our side wanted to make clear in this debate. First of all, money can buy you out of the most severe crime, and that's a fact. For example, if you're rich, you can easily hire a better, stronger, more like a better private lawyers compared to a person who is poor or who is kind of like in a marginalized group who is more vulnerable and they don't have access to that kind of private lawyers. This is something that opposition has never touched on. And the other side can't continue saying that people have the right for freedom of representation. This claim ignores important issues in this debate and does not fit. They also can't say that state employed lawyers lack resources and they are facing with too much workload. Because what kind of resources are they talking about? Because we believe that once they employ lawyers are used widely, the government will surely invest in them more to be accessible to everyone else. Instead, what the other side should try to prove to us is that number one, how can their side achieve better fairness than on our side, and how can their side attract better lawyers? So first of all, coming to the responses is so important in this debate. First of all, for the second speaker from the other side, they keep on saying is that how private lawyers they can be like better, more connections. For example, if they receive more money, then it will be better performance and it'll be a stronger defendants for the defendant. This completely explains why what our side has been explaining throughout this entire debate. What our side has been explaining throughout this entire debate is how people with more money can hire better lawyers, and their side completely explained more to us how this is absolutely true. Because if you have more money, then you can definitely buy your way out of jail or convictions and probably hire a better lawyer. And this lawyer can guarantee you winning inside the court case compared to a person who is more vulnerable and who is more marginalized. So this argument of theirs completely contradict with what they've been saying, and this support what our side has been explaining throughout this entire debate. And also, their first speaker also mentioned the fact is on how this will not address the fundamental problem because they employ lawyers, there's more workload, they do not have enough time, and this will be limited resources. This is their only argument throughout this entire debate. Because their side fails to do is that their side fails to mention how they're able to bring equal representation to all individuals, and our side make this very clear, crystal clear from the first speech, and they just completely neglect this. They keep on saying how state-employed lawyers can't do their job right without mentioning how private lawyers are better in the first place. How private lawyers are better in bringing more fairness in the legal system. And taking their best case, we will still compare between private lawyers and state-employed lawyers to see which are better lawyers and which brings better equality to the people, and this will be inside our clashes. So yes, let's come to our clashes. First of all is on the fairness, because on our side, what we aim for is a more efficient legal system where everyone has equal representation. Whether you're rich or whether you're poor, you'll still have the same representation as the state employed lawyer. And with state employed lawyer, because they work for the government, they're definitely going to be fairer, and this is easily accessible for poor people because state employed lawyers are for those who do not have money to hire their own attorney. And this is really accessible, and we believe that we're the only side who can solve this problem, and this impact is only achievable on our side. Because on their side, let's just be clear that they don't make any impact. All they say is that how private lawyers can make better connections, etc. But we don't see how this can easily serve this debate as to say that this can only result in the impact is that poor people will still stay poor and stay innocent forever and don't get the right that don't get the help that they actually deserve. And second clash is on quality of the legal system and the credibility. Which types of lawyers are actually better for the people and for the legal system? So let's compare between private lawyers and state-employed lawyers. For private lawyers, they might face external pressures or conflicts of interest when representing clients, as they may be influenced by personal relationships, financial incentives, or connections with powerful individuals. And these influences can compromise the lawyer's ability to serve the best interest of the defendant or uphold justice impartially, because if the defendant don't give them enough money, then it's less likely that this private lawyers can actually help them to the fullest potential. As for state-employed lawyers, they're less likely to be influenced by external pressures or external interests, as their employment and income are not tied to any particular client's case, and they would work under the guidance of ethical standard set by the state, set by the government, and they will only focus on fair representation. And overall, we believe that state-employed lawyers is the key to a fairer and more efficient legal system. Very proud to propose this motion.